welcome to something a little bit different. Today, we are doing a tour of my 1,000 plus day Minecraft world. Something I worked on from about 2020 till now. I'll pop on it every once in a while, though it's been more of an off project on the off and on spectrum. But it's something I've worked on for a really long time, and we hit 50 subs, so I wanted to celebrate and just show off something special, make a special video for everybody. So thank you for helping us hit 50 subscribers. Here is one of 2 mega bases in this world. That's right. This is only half of what I've built in this world. I would say about half, more than half the time has been spent here. This is my baby. This design, this glass funnel you're looking at, was actually made with a Minecraft shape generator I found online. Then we have some spheres on pillars over here. We'll get a little more into everything as we go. As for now, I am in a creative backup of this world, but this world was all done in survival, mostly on hard mode. I think when I made the world, it was on normal, but it is now hard mode. We are entering the heart of this build, and I will say, this area is not the best optimized. I've turned off tile drops, so usually, and I'll have some footage right now of it actually working, but this would be having all sorts of items. It will have watermelons, pumpkins, slime balls, and sugarcane all go through this pillar and get stored in these chests here. It's one of my favorite things about the build. Items always whipping by, flying through these tunnels, and I've been dealing with it mostly just by having fire, but it's still a lot of entities just flying through my world constantly, and it definitely doesn't help with the lag around here. The other thing you'll see is this massive storage system. So it's all Impulse SV item filters, just the plain old simple ones, connected to 2 chests, and each of these are their own item. Each of these is hooked up to 2 chests, so we can store a good amount of items. I will say, I wish I would have made a couple of these bigger. For example, I guess gunpowder is maybe not a great example, but a lot of these have filled up. And if I would have known I would have been playing in this world longer, I would have absolutely made a couple of these bigger because they overflow, and this is mostly overflow with a couple chests just for items I want, essentially. So that is the center of our base. I guess I'll also show what I was gonna do in the in-between is make this massive map. There's cats all over this world, don't worry about it. Also, quiet, boyo. I was gonna make this massive map, but as you can see just from me looking at it, it kills my frame rate. It is one of the worst things. I should probably remove it, frankly. Please, honey, where are all of you? Oh, there's like a pile of them. Yeah, there's a pile of cats. My bad. As well, you may have seen my mob farm. This mob farm is fantastic if you don't have one in your world. Mine runs quite efficiently. One, we're really high up, as well as pretty much every cave in this entire vicinity was lit up pre 1.18 when they added the extra 100 blocks below my world or whatever. So this thing runs really well, and I've never had to worry about items. I could have made it half the height and we still would be perfectly fine. So continuing down the build, again, we have the glass funnel with that water pillar. So it was supposed to be an elevator to get to the top, but then I started putting items in it, and that was way cooler. Oh no. We'll get to that. So I started putting items in it from this musical melon and pumpkin farm and this sugarcane farm. I just thought that was so much cooler, but now there's no way to get to the top of this base without an elytra, which isn't really a problem for me, but when I die, it's a real pain in the butt. So we got our little tiny sheep farm. This is actually one of the most recent builds in the whole world, and it has come in extreme handy. It's mostly just white wool, or I think actually exclusively white and black wool. As you can see, there's a bit of a white and black motif to this world. But honestly, it's been an absolute treat. I highly recommend making one of those. Also, I need to get those torches away. And here we have, if you couldn't already hear them, my massive villager city. So all of these stalls up to here are completely filled with villagers. They're 2x3 cells with their workstation and beds. They don't need beds anymore. Even at the time I built it, they didn't need beds. But I put the beds in anyway. I'm slightly humane. I love the design I came up with for these. I love just running through the halls of them. I do wish I would have stacked more vertically, because it's gotten massive. This is a lot of villagers. But yeah, we have rows of all kinds of things. I have all of my trades out here. Everyone's been converted once, only once, because it's a real pain in the neck. And at the time, I didn't have a gold farm for most of these. Wow, you guys are loud. I use this zombie here for all of my converting. He's been a tank. Actually, that's not true. He is about zombie number 11 or 12. I have killed so many zombies on accident by just like breaking this block or breaking this block or honestly opening this trap door on accident. Oh, it's been a whole debacle. And every single one of those villagers was created by these two, who I just throw bread at occasionally. And their children have all dropped into this pit to be collected by minecarts. So that's how the villager system works. They have gotten me so much in this world. The world spawn is actually right here. So again, I didn't go far. Even when I die without a bed, I respawn right there by that pumpkin. And I took those villagers essentially and brought them over to here, and they have been amazing. There was an iron farm here long ago, but I will show you the new iron farm at a later date, because this is only, again, one of 2 mega bases. Did I already say that? This is only one of 2 mega bases in this world. We also have, I believe this is the Tango Tech automatic mega smelter or super smelter. Fantastic build. I do have a borked furnace in here somewhere. I believe maybe it's that one, or maybe it might be this one with 47 coal. I think I do have a borked one, but nevertheless, I think that it's well worth making one. It's been a huge help, as well as one of the newest builds, legitimately, which if you can't realize, this is all concrete. It was all mined by hand. I will show you the statistics because I am a maniac, but times mined, white concrete, 35,000 blocks. What's wrong with me? I do not know. But I did that. And I only built this after building all of this. This was all done just mining the dang concrete by hand. So please, build one of these. It took me like 2 hours. It was kind of a pain, but it was well worth it. I don't love duping TNT, but when you're working at these kind of scales, it really saves you a lot of time, especially when you're a busy boy. That's pretty much all that's on this platform so far. Obviously, there's lots of space. Also, we need to get rid of these torches. You can see how nice it looks with those sea lanterns. But these pillars are probably my favorite thing in the whole build. So as you can see, there's the double helix design. I just came up with this. Pretty much if you just build a circle in a staircase pattern, you will get a perfect helix. And then all I did was just build some bars in between, added some stairs for detail, but it's actually super simple. I don't know why there's a big concrete pillar on the side. That's definitely not supposed to be there. But these things look crazy. We only have 2 done because I wanted to get sea lanterns, and at the time I was building these, I didn't have any. So I had to stop to build a guardian farm. Then there's these big pedestals on top, which were also my design. And I'm missing a block here that I didn't notice till just now, and we're definitely gonna fix. But I made this design. It's not the best, but I think it's pretty cool. I think I did an okay job. There's some fences in here for detail. They kind of blend in and just give it more shape. It did look kind of weird, and I added these little stabilizers. One of my favorite little details. It just really added to it. And soon, they'll all be turned into eyeballs, and they'll be shooting lasers at the base to hold it up, because I always have felt like this base is very unbalanced. Like it looks like it's just gonna fall over. So having like lasers would be the reason that this is able to like float on top of this base. But and please let me know if you have any ideas, or like, you know, you've just seen someone build good big eyeballs in their Minecraft world, but I hate how this one looks. Like it's almost right, and I don't know how to do better. But it was a very frustrating thing to work on because you're one really high up, you're falling, whatever. It wasn't very fun. And 2, it just doesn't look right. But I don't know, let me know if you know of anyone who's built good eyeballs or if you have any tips to make that one look better. Because I would love to know it, because that would, I mean, it's going to look crazy when it's all done. So as we continue on our path down the base, we get to these walls, which I love. These big black and white targets. I was building doors. I've tried out a ton of designs and I'm not really sure. And then we get to this floor. I kind of wish this floor was more visible from above the base, but you know, we'll live. Also, I just love flying over it with my Elytra as I cruise around this world, just kind of, I don't know, just flying over it the way it zigzags beneath you. It's so much fun. Such a cool part of my base. Probably my favorite little detail. Took me forever. We got it all lit up recently, and it just looks 10 times better. There's also an axolotl cage. I built this the day axolotls got added to the game. For some reason, they all love this corner, and I don't know why. Also, axolotls are really boring, and so I've really never done anything with this. This was the biggest mistake I've ever made. So, if you ever see the design for this, it's a great design. It's the Musical Melon and Pumpkin Farm. But this thing makes so much noise and it produces so many melon and pumpkins that I never need this much. And it's just a big, noisy, laggy mess. And there's no way to easily turn it off because there's no like redstone control. Each of these is like its own individual unit. So I just have to tear it down. It's been a nightmare. If you do build this, build it far away from your base. I may rebuild it one day, far away from my base. As we keep continuing down, there's not really much else. There's I guess I'll show you where all that concrete was converted. There was a puddle, but at some point I modified it slightly so that I could kind of do like this. And it would just keep, you know, dispensing the concrete into my hand, could place it by the water, and it would go into the chest. But I did finally upgrade. Also, there's been an ender chest here this whole time. Oh man, that's really embarrassing. The number of times I've like pillared up to the top of that base to get an ender chest after I've died. And there's just been an ender chest there for probably months. As well, there's a skeleton spawner right here. Pretty special part of this world. If I can find the screenshot, I will put it up now. But the original base was actually all built around this skeleton farm. It was very small, very cramped, and it was just like a basic XP farm. That's all I wanted to do. I love building mob spawner XP farms, just like a really nostalgic thing for me. And so I've always kept the skeleton farm or spawner here as kind of a memory of that. Obviously, it's been torn down these days. Originally, it was actually this pit was my base, and it had chests on the wall, and it had, I think, 2 layers. So I continued the pit much, much, much further down, and we added this wonderful sugarcane farm. This thing's so cool. I designed it myself. It's another one of those things where I was like, I didn't look up any kind of tutorial. I just figured it out. It was a super early build, turned out awesome, and it all goes into that central pillar, as I was saying. Back in the day, I didn't decorate this bottom because we were right at bedrock. So I couldn't really decorate, so all of this deep slate was bedrock. And it made it very difficult to really decorate, so I just kind of never bothered because I knew the update was coming and I've never finished it off. Been too busy. So that is the underside of my base. Let's go out to a couple peripheral farms. First, I was gonna put a garden around my base. Who knows if I'll ever do that. I kind of don't like how this looks. I wanted to add like a pop of color, something a little less like manicured, right? Everything's so like manicured and perfect, but I've never liked how it looks. Also, my options are very limited because we're building in a desert. Over here, you may see this big strip of concrete and be kind of confused what it may be. And it is not just a tree farm, though it has become my tree farm. Here you will see the Blue River. This is a project I've been working on for a very, very, very long time. I chip away at it when I'm like bored. But I've replaced almost all of this river with blue glass. There's still a little bit of water here and a couple drained sections. But as you can see, pretty large area, and it still looks like a river at a glance. Obviously, it looks a little bit different. But I thought this project came out super cool. It's been way more resource intensive than I really expected, which is why I haven't finished it. But it's been a really cool project, and I think it turned out nicely. And the reason I drained that river, there's actually like no water almost anywhere near here. That's the only other water source. I guess there's a couple ponds. I probably should drain those. But there was almost no water beside this river here, but a big long stretch. And so we turned it into a squid farm to get ink for all of that black concrete. Now, the only problem with this was I got about 3 double chests of ink sacks in maybe, I don't know, 2 days of playing on this world. I've used maybe 20 stacks of ink, which is a lot of ink, but I did not need all of that. This farm was way too big. It was nightmarish to build, actually, because multiple times the water fell onto the rails, and this is back when water broke rails. And then when the rails broke, the sand dropped, breaking all the sugarcane. Nightmare. But we have more ink sacks than you could ever dream. This farm was also constructed about 7 days before Glow Squid won the mob vote. I didn't think Glow Squid would win the mob vote, so this farm doesn't spawn Glow Squid. Easily, I could change it, but I would have to tear everything out. Like, it's just one block of changing, but the water would spill. Well, the tracks don't break anymore. Actually, it'd be a much easier fix these days. But that is it. It's really hard to see. It's an awesome build, I guess. This is a backup. We can actually go in there. You can't see much. So these water columns spawn the squid, and then they swim, fall down on these sugar canes, die, and then are collected by minecarts. So that's how that farm works. Really cool farm. I worked forever on it. It's one of the most infuriating projects that's probably ever been done in this world. But it's done now. And I have more ink sacks than I could ever imagine. The final build at this portion of my base is down here. It is a slime farm. Very simple. I built it out of concrete thinking it would be displayed, and then I've never had a reason to display it, which is kind of a bummer. But, well, there's not really much to see. There's a simple collection area at the bottom. I won't show it up. I will say, when I was just getting ready to film this, I found this chest and there were just 3 diamonds in it. Like, what? What am I doing? Organize your stuff, dude. You literally have an auto sorter. So with that, I don't think there's much else worth showing off here. So let's hop into our nether and let's go see the other mega base of this world. Something else I wanted to add while we're traveling. So this world isn't exactly 1,000 days. If I hit F3, I believe it says we're on day 1 because I just made this backup. But I have swapped this world between 3 computers, resetting the day counter. But if I go into my options, statistics, and nights slept in a bed, 1,053. So we're at least over 1,000. Also, my time played is 19, almost 20 days, which I did the math on, and that would be about 1,500 Minecraft days if I never slept. So we're around 1,000. I don't know exactly where I'm at. Could be more, could be less. At least 1,000. And the video title is just 1,000+ day Minecraft world because I don't want to lie to you people. Now welcome to my favorite part of my entire base. I just, well, almost finished this. As you can see, there's one section missing. But I just almost finished this part of my base. This is my mega guardian farm. Look at this thing. It is a 105 by 105 circle that previously held a guardian temple. This farm is kind of my design. It's stolen from Nembomb, but then I couldn't get the nether part to work. So I just kind of just figured out the killing system myself. It's not super efficient, but I've literally got so many items that I just have lava at the bottom to delete the items because my storage has been so overwhelmed. One of these is actually going to be turned into a massive storage shed, but at the moment it is not. The lattice pattern on the wall, I love. I think this looks so cool. Such a good detail. It's all quartz slabs and sea lanterns, which I love having. As you can tell, I love building with like monochrome, so having sea lanterns is huge. Also, this floor design is sweet. We'll fly up so you can get a better look at it. But check that thing out, man. That is mega. I can't believe I finished this thing. The number of hours I've put in this is genuinely close to comparable to the rest of the base. The draining of this was not done with redstone. I drained it all with just sponges. I don't know what is wrong with me. I could have stopped. I had the Guardian farm built, and then I went, I want it bigger. And as well, the final build I think I put in this world is this iron farm. This iron farm's awesome. I'll link a tutorial to it in the description, or the original design of it in the description. Amazing iron farm. I can't remember the designer's name, but this thing changed the game for me. I was constantly running out of iron because I use a lot of hoppers. We're not running out of iron anymore. That problem is a thing of the past. We can make as many hoppers as we need. Been a really nice thing to have around. As well, we just got a little bee farm. Probably gonna tear it down someday. Welcome, welcome. The final build in this world. Something that absolutely changed the game for me. A gold farm. If you do villagers, you need to get a gold farm. The amount of time it saves you from gathering gold for golden apples is absolutely insane. If you are healing your villagers, which I highly recommend you do. Even though they're changing that mechanic, I don't know if it's been changed yet. I think it's the worst change that's ever been added to Minecraft, but I won't talk about it. As you can see, this thing produces more gold than I need. These chests are always full. A thing about this world, I never build big enough storage systems. Very simple design. I believe I found it on Shulker Craft's channel. OG design. It's the turtle egg design. It's great though. It's been an absolute lifesaver. And with that, as the sun sets on this tour, I would like to thank you so much for watching. Thank you all for 50 subs. Looking over this world, I kind of thought I would have more to share. At the end of the day, I do things on a pretty mega scale in this world. Is kind of background noise to whatever I'm doing in my life. This world's gotten through a lot with me. It obviously was started mid-pandemic and saved me from many, many, many hours of boredom and lonesomeness. Also, thank you for helping me hit 50 subs. I never thought we'd make it this far. When I started the channel, I hoped that there would be 10 people ready to ride with me for this silly little channel. 50 seemed out of this world. And to me, that's awesome. I'm so glad we've been able to go on this journey, play through so many different games. I ain't going anywhere. I'm gonna keep making videos. So take care. Bye-bye.